Nobody knows the name of the person who first controlled fire. We don't know what they look like, where exactly they lived, or even which species of human they were. But we know with near certainty that it happened, and we know that a single moment changed everything that came after, including the device you're watching this on right now. Because before that moment, humans were just another prey animal trying not to get eaten in the dark. Let me take you back to that day. Not the myths, not the metaphors, the actual sweating, terrified, probably accidental day when someone figured out they could keep fire instead of running from it. And fair warning, the person who did this probably had no idea that what they just done, the real story, is so much stranger than Prometheus stealing flames from the gods. Picture East Africa, somewhere between 800,000 and 1.5 million years ago. The exact date is genuinely up for debate among archaeologists, but the earliest strong evidence for controlled fire, burned bones, heated stone tools, organized hearths, goes back at least that far. Some sites in South Africa show fire used closer to 1 million years ago. Our protagonist isn't Homo sapiens. We don't exist yet. This is likely Homo erectus, maybe Homo habilis, shorter than you, smaller brain than yours, but significantly bigger than a chimpanzee's. They've got stone tools, they've got social groups, they can plan, communicate, probably even laugh. But they're still fundamentally scared of the dark. Because here's what nighttime meant back then. Death o'clock. Everything with big teeth and good night vision gets to hunt. You and your group climb into trees if you can. Huddle in shallow caves if you can find them, or just sleep in shifts and hope the fire you see in the distance, the wildfire, the lightning struck, doesn't come your way. Fire, for all of early human history, was the enemy. You ran from it. It destroyed the landscape, it killed anything too close to escape. Natural wildfires were catastrophes, not opportunities. So whoever first controlled it had to override every single instinct screaming to them to get away. Here's how it probably actually happened. Lightning hits a dead tree about a half a mile from where a small group is foraging. It's the dry season. The tree catches immediately, fire spreading to the grass. Normal person response, run, get upwind, get to the rocks where nothing can burn. Wait it out. But this time, someone notices something. The animals are running too, panicked, and in that panic, some of them, a small antelope maybe, something rabbit-sized, they're not fast enough. The fire overtakes them, or the smoke does, and then they drop. Some of the group has seen this before, probably smelled burnt meat before without understanding what it meant. But now, someone approaches the cooling edge of the burn zone the fire passes. The earth is black and still hot. There's a dead animal lying there, partially cooked by the heat, and then they smell it up close. Something clicks. It smells good? Not raw, not rotten, something fundamentally different. They taste it, and I need you to understand. Cooked meat is easier to chew, easier to digest, and gives you significantly more calories than raw. Your gut doesn't have to work as hard. Your jaw doesn't have to be as massive. This is the difference between spending 6 hours a day chewing like a gorilla and actually having time to do other things. The first taste might be the most important meal in human history. But here's the thing nobody tells you about this story. There's a massive gap between, wow, fire touched meat tastes amazing, and I can control fire. Because fire isn't an animal you can track. So the next step is someone realizing, we can take it with us. There's a branch still burning at the edge of the wildfire zone. It's not engulfed, just one end smoldering with a small flame. And someone picks it up. Probably gets burned immediately, drops it, tries again with the other end. They carry it back to camp, and everyone else absolutely loses their minds. Half the group wants nothing to do with it. This is dangerous. This is wrong. Fire is the thing that destroys. And now you've brought it into our safe space? The fear is completely rational. But the person carrying it, let's say it's a woman, because statistically, someone had to be and we default to men in these stories too often. She's figured out something else. When she holds it, the others back away. Small animals that would normally creep close at dusk suddenly keep their difference. The circle of light pushes back the dark. She's holding controlled fear, controlled power. But now comes the actual hard part, keeping it alive. Because the burning branch, it's going to go out. Fire consumes fuel. It needs to eat. And if you don't understand that, you just watch your precious flame die and you're back to darkness. Someone has to figure out, put more wood on it, not too much or you smother it. Not too little or it starves. Just the right size, the right dryness. You have to learn that wet wood smokes and barely burns. The two methods that probably emerge first, percussion and friction. Percussion is striking rocks together to create sparks, specifically hitting flint against pyrite or similar iron-containing materials. The sparks are tiny fragments of iron heated by the collision to around 800 degrees. You need incredibly dry tinder to catch those sparks. Dried grass, shredded bark, fungus. You need to understand the whole chain. Spark to tinder, to kindling, to fuel wood. Friction is even harder. The bow drill, the hand drill, the fire plow. These are all methods where you're creating heat through friction. Spinning or rubbing wood against wood until the friction creates an ember hot enough to ignite. This requires the right type of wood, the right pressure, the right speed, and genuinely exhausting, sustained effort. The first person to create fire from scratch probably spent hours, maybe days, trying to make it work. Blistered hands, aching arms, everyone else thinking they've just lost their mind. And then an ember. A tiny, glowing coal in a pile of dust and shredded bark. You blow it gently, add the finest dried grass, and suddenly there's a flame. That moment is transcendent. That's the moment a human becomes something fundamentally different. Not someone who uses fire, someone who commands it. Let me tell you what changes after that. Food, obviously. Cooked meat, cooked tuppers, cooked everything. Your caloric intake jumps. Cooking, particularly pre-digested food, meaning your gut can extract more energy with less effort. Over thousands of generations, this means our guts can shrink and our energy-hungry brains can grow. Fire literally makes us smarter over evolutionary time. But it's not just food. Warmth means you can survive in colder climates. Humans with fire can move north into Europe, into Asia, into places no primate had ever lived before. We stopped being tropical specialists and became global opportunists. Light means the day doesn't end at sunset. You can talk, make tools, teach, socialize after dark. Culture accelerates. Knowledge compounds. The group around the fire becomes the place where stories happen, where information transfers, where we become fully symbolic thinkers. Protection means you can sleep on the ground. No more trees, no more cliff faces. A fire perimeter keeps predators away. Humans with fire stop being prey. We're not hunted anymore. We're the ones doing the hunting. And we can use fire to drive animals into ambushes, to clear landscapes, to reshape the environment itself. And weapons. Eventually, someone realizes you can harden wooden spear tips in fire. You can use fire to crack rocks more predictably for better stone tools. You can clear forests to create grasslands that attract game. Fire becomes technology. But here's the part that genuinely haunts me. The first person who controlled fire, they almost certainly had no concept of what they'd started. They weren't thinking about civilizations or technology or the Industrial Revolution. They were thinking, this keeps me warm tonight. This keeps the lions away. This makes this root edible. The greatest invention in human history was made by someone who just wanted to not be afraid of the dark. And every human society that followed, on every continent, in every environment, kept that fire going. We have cultures with continuous fire-keeping traditions back thousands of years. The sacred flame, the eternal fire, the hearth that must never be cold. Because letting fire die meant death, meant starting over, meant you lost that one thing that made you more than prey. We carried it, we protected it, we built our entire world around it. And eventually, we figured out how to bottle that energy, concentrate it, weaponize it, industrialize it, until we're burning ancient compressed sunlight, oil, coal, gas, to power a civilization that first person couldn't possibly image. But it all starts with someone scared and curious, holding a burning stick, refusing to let it go. That's the actual story. No gods, no theft from Olympus, just a human who paid attention, who experimented, who failed and tried again, who overrode every instinct to run away and instead asked, "What if I stayed?" If that story got you, this channel covers early human life exactly like this. The daily reality, the first time discoveries, the moment that built us. Subscribe if you want more of that deep past, told like it actually happened.